The universe is extremely giving. If you actually try and you actually want it and you're actually not making excuses, lying, talking shit, you're going to get what you want. And this may be elitist. I understand that. But if I put myself through endless pain to end up where I am, it's very hard for me to have sympathy on the man who's afraid of pain. I've been through endless. I now have everything I've ever desired. You have none of the things you desire. Am I supposed to feel sorry for you? Am I supposed to look at you and go, oh, poor dude? No, you didn't go through the shit I went through. You didn't put it on the line. So you deserve your substandard reality. Because if you actually wanted it and you actually tried, you'd have it. You can have anything you want on the planet. There's not a car I can't have. There's not a house I can't buy. If I want to go to a yacht, if I want to go to Antarctica, there's nothing I can't have. Bam. Because I've decided to become this man. It's the same for absolutely every single one of you at home. If you're sitting there saying, oh, but I tried my best and I still didn't get it, you're lying. The universe gives it to everybody who genuinely tries. Like I've achieved this amazing life and I've tried very, very hard, but it could have been harder. About 86% hard. It wasn't 100% hard. Why? Because the competition's zero. It's amazing to me. Everyone's a loser. I can say to somebody, listen, I'll make you a millionaire. Do this. Oh yeah, but the kids are home from school now. And then they'll sit and go, really wish I had some money. You are a loser. And then they'll say, can't afford a Ferrari, and wonder why. Like they'll be confused in their minds how they didn't end up getting what they want. And the majority of people are losers. Everyone I grew up with, people I know, I get it all the time. They'll message me, hey man, just unlucky. You are not unlucky. You are a lazy fucking loser. You are not unlucky. The unlucky ones are gone. You're alive and you are a lazy loser. So a loser is anybody who does not have everything they want at the drop of a hat. Because I have absolutely everything I could ever possibly desire. And if I wanted something that I couldn't have, I guarantee you can speak again in a few months that I can have it. Because if I want something and I can't have it, I can't sleep. I don't know how there's broke people out here sleeping just fine at night. Dummies, losers.
The world doesn't owe you anything. That's the first truth you need to tattoo on your soul. You weren't born with a crown. Nobody is going to hand you the throne. Success is not a gift, it's a bloody conquest. And if you're not ready to bite down on your own pain and use it as fuel, you're done before you even begin. You want to build something real? Then get real about what this world actually is. You either rise or you're stepped on. You build or you're owned. And I know deep down you felt it. That burning, unspoken urge to do something massive with your life. That quiet frustration when you look around and see average people smiling like they've won when they've settled for crumbs. That feeling is your potential screaming at you. That pain, that's your purpose trying to wake you the hell up. Most ignore it, most numb it, most silence it with distractions, dopamine, and dead-end habits. But the few, they listen, they act. You weren't born to just survive. You weren't meant to rot in mediocrity, obeying orders from weak men in cubicles, trading your time for pennies. You're a builder, a conqueror. And if you don't feel like one right now, it's because life has beaten you down. They broke your rhythm. They convinced you that comfort is happiness, that safety is peace, that average is enough. But let me tell you something. The empire you want exists. It's waiting, but you must become the man capable of building it. No one is coming to rescue you. I don't care how sad your story is. You think you're the only one? Life doesn't hand out sympathy trophies. The world pays attention to power. And power is earned through struggle, sacrifice, and relentless movement. You can cry, you can complain, or you can build. It's supposed to be hard. It's meant to break the weak. You're not meant to feel good all the time. You're meant to win, and winning hurts. You will outgrow people. You will wake up alone sometimes, wondering if it's all worth it. That's the price. But on the other side, glory, power, respect. You will look back and thank the pain. Every sleepless night, every insult, every failure. Because without it, you wouldn't be the man you're becoming. You wouldn't be the builder of your empire. You see, the enemy isn't out there. It's not your parents. It's not the government. It's the comfort that strangles ambition. It's the fake friends who celebrate your stagnation so they don't feel inferior. Once the noise dies and the mission becomes clear, you'll be unstoppable. Not because life got easier, but because you got harder. You don't need luck. You don't need anyone to believe in you. You don't need a fancy degree, a rich family. You just need to start. You just need to wake up and declare, I'm building my empire. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how hard it gets. I'm not quitting. I'm not waiting. I'm not hoping. I'm building. This life can be anything you want it to be, but not by accident, only by design. And design requires work. While others party, you plan. While they sleep, you strategize. While they mock, you multiply. That's how empires rise. Burn the bridges. Crush the excuses canvas and start laying bricks. You were born to be more than a follower. You were born to dominate, to rule, to leave a legacy. That throne you dream about is not a fantasy, it's a blueprint. And you've got the tools. I started with nothing. Not the kind of nothing rich kids claim when they want to sound humble. I mean nothing. No connections, no safety net, just a battered laptop, a dying phone, and a hunger so vicious, hunger for freedom. Hunger for power, hunger to never answer to another weak man for the rest of my life. I remember staring at the ceiling in a cold, dark room where the heat barely worked. My stomach was empty, but my mind was overflowing, not with fear, not with doubt, but with fire. I made a vow in that moment that changed my life forever. I will not be a spectator in this world while others live like kings. Every morning I woke up before the sun and reminded myself, your future self is watching, don't let him down. That voice became louder than every excuse I could ever invent. And trust me, it didn't come easy. Every day I was met with setbacks. I was told it's impossible. You need money to make money. You should get a real job. The world will throw its doubts on you like chains, but only you decide whether to wear them. I chose to be insane by society's standards. I didn't cry, I calculated. I didn't whine, I worked. Eventually things started to shift. Not because luck found me, but because I refused to quit. I was relentless. That's how you win, not with flair, but with obsession. I didn't need luck, I didn't need handouts, I needed pain, and I turned it into purpose. They see the result, the lifestyle, the strength, the influence, but they never see the war it took to create it. You keep telling yourself you need more time, more clarity, more confidence. You don't, you just need to move. Every empire begins with one step, not a perfect step, just a step. You think I knew everything? You think I had some magical plan? I didn't. I had willpower. I had a disgust for mediocrity so deep it poisoned every second I wasn't chasing greatness. And that's what fueled me. You have that same power buried inside you, but power unused becomes poison. If you don't dig it out, it'll rot you from the inside. You'll live your whole life knowing you could have been something but chose the easy road. The difference between a man who builds an empire and one who dies anonymous isn't talent, it's action. That's it. If you're waiting for the stars to align, for motivation to strike, for some magical moment of clarity, it's not coming. The empire you want will not be delivered. It must be constructed. Early morning by late night, failure by lesson. That's the process. You don't get it by hoping, you get it by bleeding. And you'll realize that everything they said you couldn't do was the exact reason you did it. Look around you. The man next to you at the gym, the guy sitting quietly in the coffee shop, the driver waiting at the light, they're all carrying the same disease. Wasted potential. You can feel it in the air, that invisible heaviness, that dead energy, that silent suffering of men who once had dreams but now live as ghosts in their own bodies. And the scariest part, you're inches away from becoming one of them. You think opportunities will wait while you scroll, while you procrastinate, while you numb your discomfort with distractions. They won't. You don't understand how real this is. Life is a war, and you're either building your kingdom or you're being ruled by someone else's. I'll start next week. I'm not ready yet. I'm waiting for the right moment. Those are the lullabies that put your ambitions to sleep and lull your future into a coma. Wake up. There is no right moment. There is only now. And if you don't seize it with full aggression, someone else will. Someone else will wake up earlier, think sharper, and take the very thing you could have owned. You need to understand the cost of comfort. Every time you choose the couch over the grind, every time you silence your ambition to avoid judgment, every time you let fear dictate your decisions, you pay a tax. Not with money, but with destiny. That's the real horror, not failure. Wasted greatness. You could have been someone that reshaped history, inspired nations, led armies of men toward purpose, but instead you chose to scroll. You chose to drown in comfort and call it peace. You weren't born to survive. You weren't built to coast. You were forged for war, for struggle, for the unrelenting pursuit of empire. And if you ignore that voice, you will decay. You'll become one of those men who laugh on the outside and rot on the inside. You'll pretend everything's fine while your mind slowly dies from knowing you betrayed your own potential. Be afraid of waking up at 50 and realizing you spent your prime worshiping weakness, obeying mediocrity, and letting life slap you around like a slave. A man who fears being average will never settle for less than legendary. That's the mindset. That's the engine behind greatness. Don't numb it, embrace it. You are one decision away from changing your entire life. But that decision won't come when it's easy. It comes when it's painful, when your body screams rest and your mind whispers more. It comes when you feel like giving up but choose to keep swinging. You are not meant to be a consumer. You are meant to be a creator. Stop watching others build empires while you fantasize from the sidelines. That life you envy, that power you crave, it's on the other side of sacrifice. And the longer you delay, the more brutal the climb becomes. But if you begin now, every hour becomes a brick. And slowly that empire you once only dreamed of becomes a reality. If you die today, will you die as a king or a coward? Would your story inspire or be forgotten? This moment is the battleground. This is where the empire is either born or buried. The reason most men stay broke, weak, and invisible is because they're addicted to temporary pleasure and allergic to long-term pressure. They want the result without the war, the crown without the scars, the throne without the battlefield. You don't get to rule anything unless you've bled for it. You need to show the world that you're not just another man wishing for a better life. You're the man building it. The future doesn't care how tired you are. It only cares if you show up and conquer it anyway. You're either attacking your goals or surrendering to weakness. There's no neutral ground in this game. So you better move like a man who knows time is his most dangerous enemy. You have to make a decision that mediocrity is no longer acceptable. You have to draw the line so deep that weakness doesn't dare to cross it. Tell yourself right now, I am not like them. There is a beast inside you that's been waiting for permission to rise, and this is the moment you let it out. You walk different when you have purpose. Every excuse you've made is just a chain around your neck. I don't have the money, then figure out how to make it. I don't have support, then become your own army. I don't know where to start, then start anywhere and refuse to stop. The difference between the man who wins and the man who watches is persistence. The refusal to give up when everything inside you screams to quit. That's where your kingdom is forged. Look around at the life you've got. You either created it or allowed it, and that means you have the power to change it. No situation is permanent. Your bank account, your body, your status, your reputation, it's all malleable. It bends to the will of the man who refuses to be average. The man who doesn't get distracted by noise, doesn't break under pressure, doesn't flinch when life punches him in the mouth. Stop chasing dopamine and start chasing dominion. Real men don't want applause, they want control. Control over their mind, their income, their destiny. Owning your time, commanding your path, becoming unbreakable. You can't build that by chasing likes or living for comfort. You build that by suffering with purpose, by turning fear into fuel. So run towards the fire. Let it mold you. Let it burn away every ounce of weakness until only the king remains. Every second you delay, your empire stays a fantasy. You're not waiting on the right time. You're just afraid to commit. But here's the truth. No one's going to hand you power. No one's going to build your vision for you. And no one's coming to save you. You either rise now or live on your knees forever. I don't care if you're broke, lost, or alone. Every empire began with a man who was hungry enough to change his fate. That man is you. 5 years from now, you'll either be a man with a crown or a man with regrets. No more doubt, no more delay, no more weakness. Get up and build your empire.
There are already enough losers walking the earth. People who've surrendered, people who gave in when it got uncomfortable, people who ran from responsibility, who chose the easy path, not because it was right, but because it didn't demand anything from them. Don't be like them. Don't blend in with the masses who live life asleep, numb, lost in distraction and addiction, chasing quick highs and shortcuts that go nowhere. The world is filled with broken dreams, wasted potential, and almost. Don't become another could have been. Don't sit back and watch your life pass like a movie you're not even starring in. You were made to rise, made to fight, made to break the chain of mediocrity that's trapped generations before you. This is your line in the sand. Draw it. The people around you may be content with being average. They may fear greatness because it requires sacrifice, pain, hunger, and focus. But not you. You are not them. You refuse to accept that your best years are behind you. You refuse to let laziness write your story. You refuse to be another name in the crowd. There's already enough noise, enough people complaining, enough people blaming. But what the world lacks is accountability, purpose, fire. Be the one who brings it. Be the one who trains when they sleep. Be the one who reads when they scroll. Be the one who works when they party. Be the one who says no to instant pleasure and yes to permanent growth. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being relentless. No more excuses. No more, I'm trying. No more, maybe tomorrow. There are enough people saying tomorrow. You say now. There are enough people who quit on January 3rd. You push in July and October and December because you're built different. When others fold under pressure, you use it as fuel. When the road gets tough, you double your stride. When doubt creeps in, you punch it in the face with faith. There is no room for weakness here. There is no space for the victim mentality. The world will try to make you soft, passive, controlled. You must rebel against it. You must fight to keep your mind sharp, your heart on fire, your soul in alignment. The greatest threat to your future is not outside of you. It's inside. It's that little voice that says, you can't, you're tired. Just give in. That voice has already won in the lives of millions. Don't let it win in yours. Kill it with action. Prove it wrong with effort. Bury it under layers of discipline, work ethic, and vision.